Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. It is Julie here with your TipRanks pre-market morning update, where we're bringing you everything you need to know before the market opens. So let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back, and thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for all of the get well wishes yesterday. I'm so sorry I had to miss our pre-market yesterday. I'm still not 100%, but I've had a bunch of hot tea and throat lozenges, so we're going to try to get through this together this morning. Of course, we'll be taking a look at exciting stock market news. We have a ton of notable earnings reports, and we'll see which stocks are this morning's biggest gainers and losers. So let's get right into this morning's exciting stock market news. U.S. stock futures are in the green this morning. Currently, Dow futures are up 0.12%, S&P 500 futures up 0.77%, while NASDAQ is leading the pack up 1.52%. Uber Technologies and Wallbox NV are expanding their partnership across the U.S. regarding EV charging after a successful pilot program back in the fall. Wallbox is a Spain-based EV charging provider. Their Pulsar Plus chargers are the smallest smart home EV charger in the US, which are compatible with all EVs, including Tesla cars. Last year, they launched a pilot program under which Uber drivers received a discounted package of Wallbox's Pulsar Plus charger, installation, as well as the option to finance the package. After a successful pilot, they'll be expanding the program across the US by the end of 2022 in 4 different phases. The Uber stock is rated a strong buy with an average upside of 77%. It has been reported that SeaWorld has made a bid to acquire Cedar Fair in an all-cash deal worth $3.4 billion. Cedar Fair owns and operates 12 amusement parks, along with a variety of water parks and hotels across the U.S. Their board of directors will review the current bid, but they did reject a $4 billion takeover from Six Flags Entertainment back in 2019, saying that the $4 billion bid was too low. The SeaWorld stock is currently rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 19%. Tesla has had to recall over 53,000 of their vehicles in the US that have the rolling stop feature in full self-driving mode. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has cited collision concerns on Tesla models that are loaded with the rolling stop feature. This was introduced in the FSD beta program back in October and allows the vehicles to be in motion at a speed of 0.1 to 5.6 miles, even at an always stopped intersection. Although no such incidents have been reported, Tesla has decided to recall the vehicles mentioned in the report and release an over-the-air software update for vehicles not included. The Tesla stock is rated a moderate buy with an average upside of nearly 17%. And shares of Electric Last Mile Solutions plunged yesterday after the resignation of their CEO and chairman. Both James Taylor and Jason Lau resigned as the result of an investigation by a special committee of the board into certain sale of equity shares. The investigation found that Taylor and Lau directly or indirectly purchased and sold the company's equity in November and December of 2020 at significant discounts to market value. The ELMS stock is currently rated a hold with an average upside of 34%. Now, moving over to our plethora of notable earnings reports. In the pre-market this morning, we'll be hearing from some big names like Alibaba, AbbVie, eBay, and Ferrari. And in the after hours, we'll be hearing from Meta, Qualcomm, and Spotify. In the after hours yesterday, headlines were dominated by Alphabet's Google, who not only posted strong results for their quarterly earnings, but announced a 20-for-1 stock split is in the works. The split will be in the form of a one-time special stock dividend. For all stockholders of record as of July 1st, they'll receive a dividend of 19 additional shares after the close of business on July 15th. On the earnings side of things, Google's earnings per share surged over 37% year over year to $30.69, topping analyst estimates of $27.48. Their revenue grew 32% to over $75 billion, surpassing the street's estimates of $72 billion. Their stock is rated a strong buy with an average upside of 25%. We also heard from MicroStrategy, whose earnings came in well below analyst expectations. They reported a Q4 adjusted loss of $8.41 per share when analysts had been estimating an earnings of $1.58 per share. Their total revenues did come in slightly better than analyst estimates at $134.52 million. The company also disclosed that from the period of December 30th to January 31st, the company bought approximately 660 Bitcoin for $25 million in cash. Their stock is currently rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 105%. AMD, or Advanced Micro Devices, had a great day in the after hours, with the stock jumping up over 10% following their strong quarterly earnings report. The company reported quarterly earnings per share of 92 cents, which was up 77% from the previous year and surpassed the estimates of 76 cents. Their quarterly revenues came in at $4.83 billion, up 49% from the prior year and ahead of analyst estimates of $4.52 billion. The AMD stock is rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 35%. We also heard from General Motors, who did come in ahead of expectations on earnings, but fell short of revenue estimates. Their adjusted earnings of $1.35 per share declined 30% year over year, but did surpass analyst expectations of $1.19. Meanwhile, their revenues declined 10.4% year over year to $33.58 billion, falling short of the analyst estimates of $34.01 billion. The stock is currently rated a strong buy with an average upside of nearly 45%. And we also heard from PayPal. Their stock is plunging after they fell short of expectations for their fourth quarter results and 2022 guidance. Their adjusted earnings per share grew 4% year over year to $1.11, just missing the street's estimates of $1.12. Their revenue increased 13% year over year to $6.92 billion, coming in just above the analyst expectations of $6.86 billion. For adjusted earnings per share in 2022, their high-end range came in at $4.75, while analysts were expecting it to be around $5.25. The PayPal stock is currently rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 35%. Now, let's take a look at which stocks are this morning's biggest gainers and losers. Our biggest gainers this morning are led by Advanced Micro Devices following their quarterly earnings results. Trading under the ticker AMD, they're currently up 12.5%. They're followed by Xilinx under the ticker XLNX. Their stock is up just over 12% after China approved their merger with AMD. And Amcor stock under the ticker AMKR, they're also up about 12% following the news of their dividend increase. Our biggest losers this morning are led by Exelon after Constellation was spun off to become its own standalone public energy company. Trading under the ticker EXC, the stock is currently down over 28%. They're followed by PayPal Holdings under the ticker PYPL. The stock is down 16.5% following their earnings results. And Dynatrace under the ticker DT down 11.6%, also following their earnings. So that is going to be everything for Wednesday's pre-market morning update, getting you up to speed with what you need to know before that opening bell. If you made it to the end of today's video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and say good morning in the comments down below. I always love hearing from you guys. Again, my apologies for missing yesterday and the extra nasally raspiness you have to deal with today, but I appreciate your understanding. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and I'll see you back here next time.